Hello, welcome to students. Sorry, we have to talk today about elemental cycling. Everything which is present on this globe, it is composed of elements, and these elements are converting into from one form to another form. If these elements are present in organic molecule, and after death and dying of that organic molecule, these elements are going to be converted into it is uh, inorganic elemental form. So it takes place. Elements which are present on globe are converting from one form to another form, but these are present on this globe, not going away from this planet. So the mass which is present on this universe, it is constant, but it converts from one form to another form. The main thing which is responsible to convert these elements from one form to another form is microorganisms. Microorganisms are the main entity, are microorganisms are responsible to convert these elemental form from organic to inorganic form. Uh, so microbes are playing a vital role in conversion of elemental form from one form to another form. So today we have to talk here about sulfur cycle. Sulfur is also essential element. It is present in organic form on this globe, as well as it is present in organic form on this globe, and it is very essential for the living organism. Without sulfur, living molecules are not possible uh, for the existence. So here, sulfur cycle, plants and certain microbes can use sulfur to make amino acid. Sulfur to make it is amino acid. So sulfur is playing a vital role in formation of amino acid. So plants which are present on this globe, as well as any microorganisms are present on this globe, they are using sulfur for the formation of amino acids. And amino acids are building block of the protein molecules of living organisms. Secondly, H2S is oxidized to form SO2, sulfur dioxide. Hydrogen sulfide gas is oxidized to form sulfur dioxide gas. So in this complicated picture, if you will see, sulfur is present on this globe. Okay, we will start from one point. Sulfur is present on this globe is in H2S form. Mostly it is present on surface of the soil or subsurface of the soil. And second major form is present on surface of the soil is SO4. Sulfate, which is considered sulfate, and sulfur is emitted from burning of the fossil fuel. It generates sulfur dioxide gas, and due to rain, due to water, it converts into acid deposition H2SO3, which comes on surface. And again, this H2S is coming on the surface of the earth. Okay, on surface of the earth, it is present on SO4, which is considered sulfate, and it is comparatively stable form of the sulfur. Okay, what happens with sulfate? Sulfate, it converts into group of protein SH, sulfhydryl group of protein. It converts into protein of uh, microorganisms, as well as proteins of plants. So sulfate converts into protein in form of sulfhydryl group, SH sulfhydryl group. And this process is given a name of assimilation by plant and bacteria. Uh, this process is called assimilation, means conversion of sulfate into protein in bacterial cells as well as in plant cells. So what happens when bacterial cells and plant cells are going to die? After death of plants and after death of microorganisms, these are going into soil, and in soil another microbial populations are present which are responsible to decompose all organic molecules. They are decomposing microorganisms which are present in soil. They are responsible to decompose the organic molecules from soil. So bacterial cells and the plant cells are decomposed into elemental forms. We are here talking especially with sulfur or sulfate, sulfur molecule, and the sulfur which is present in self-hydral form, SH has self-hydral form in plant amino acids, and bacterial amino acids are converted into H2S. H2S gas, it is gaseous form and unstable form. Second process with this sulfate which is present in water and the soil shape, it is directly converted into H2S, and this process is done by disulfovibrio bacteria. By reduction of disulfovibrio bacteria, sulfate is converted into H2S. Okay, what happens with this H2S? If you will see here, this H2S converts into elemental sulfur by means of bacterial species, by a reaction of bacterial species, Begotia and Thiobacillus. These two bacterial strains are responsible to convert H2S gas into elemental sulfur. And this elemental sulfur again goes to soil and forms SO4 sulfate. In another way, this H2S is converges into elemental sulfur in anaerobic environment by means of purple and green phototrophic bacteria into elemental sulfur. And this elemental sulfur again converts into SO4. So most high concentration of sulfur on surface earth is SO4, which is water soluble and which is available for plants to absorb by the roots. It is available for the microorganisms which will be converted into H2S, or it is available for the plant and microorganism to absorb and convert into amino acids. After death of these microbes and plants, again it will convert into H2S. Yes. So this elemental sulfur again converted into SO4 by means of purple and green phototrophic bacteria. This is anaerobic condition, mostly soil and sediment takes place, this process. And this process is on surface of the earth, if we will see here. So from this slide, what we want to say, just we want to discuss and elaborate this thing that sulfur is important element for the living molecules, for the living organism, and it is an essential component of the building blocks of the living organism, and it becomes a part of amino acid and the proteins of bacteria and plants. And after death of plants and bacteria, it is going into the soil, which is further decomposed by microorganisms and converted into an unstable form, which is called H2S. And this H2S is further processed by means of microorganisms aerobically as well as anaerobically, and converted it into elemental form. This elemental form is not stable, and again it goes into the soil and reacts with soil solution, and forms SO4. This SO4 form of sulfur is available for plants, for microorganisms to incorporate into their body as a biological form. So elements which are present on globe, these are converting in one form to another form. It is in uh, soluble form, it is almost compound form, it converts into biological molecule, again it converts into hydrogen gas, and again it converts into elemental sulfur, and again it comes. So whatever the element, as well we talked earlier there, whatever element is on present on globe, these are basic acid of this globe. These cannot go away from the planet, but these are going to be converted from one form to another form. And to convert it from one form to another form, soil microbial population is responsible to convert elemental one form to another form. Therefore, sometimes we are saying that microorganisms which are present, they are responsible to maintain the life on globe. Sulfur cycle, if we will talk, we will see. Most important steps, sulfur is present in protein and waste products, means dead bodies of the animals and plants. So it is going to be converted into amino acid by microbial decomposition. So microbes are responsible to convert elements from one form to another form. First, these are present in sulfur was present in soil water, which has in form of sulfate SO4, which was absorbed by plants and microorganisms. After death of plants, this converts into waste product, and microbes decompose that waste product and plants and proteins and convert it into amino acids. And these amino acids, which are containing sulfhydryl form, SH, sulfur and hydrogen in their structure, which are further decomposed by microorganism, that is called microbial dissemination. This is called microbial dissemination. Amino acids are converted into H2S by means of microbial action, and the process has been given a name, microbial dissemination. So this H2S, which is present on surface inside of the soil, and mostly it is in anaerobic condition and most unstable gas, this H2S is converted into SO4 for energy by respiration, and this is done by Thiobacillus and Begonia species. It is converted into sulfate form, elemental form, and then into sulfate form. And this is SO4, means sulfate, which is abundantly available in soil safe, and it is soluble in water. Plant can absorb it easily. Microbe and the plant can absorb this sulfate into their cells, and they are making amino acid. Okay, we are entering now into another element. We are talking about another element, that is phosphorus cycle. And we now, as a student of biology, as a having a background of the biology, that phosphorus is most essential component of the every living organism. It is present in bones, it is present in hair, it is present in DNA structure, it is present in different body parts and tissues of what happens. Phosphorus is present on globe as well as biological form. It converts from biological form to organic form to inorganic form, and from inorganic form to organic form. Okay, we can see here in this diagram, phosphorus is present in elemental form, and it converts into inside of the cell. Uh, Inside of the cell, it is present in organic form, and outside of the cell, it is present in inorganic form. So phosphorus, which is present inside of the cell, converts into elemental phosphorus, and this elemental phosphorus is inorganic phosphorus. This inorganic phosphorus again converted into organic phosphorus inside of the cell. And this inorganic phosphorus is coming from rocks, and from cell to again it is going into the rocks, into elements. So it is also an element. It is present in most of the phosphorus is present in inorganic form, in elemental form. Due to microbial acids, it converts into organic forms. It is dissolves in soil and microbial population and plant cells. They are absorbing it directly from soil. We will see the most important steps in phosphorus cycle. You can see here, inorganic phosphorus is solubilized by microbial acid. This is most important step. This is most important step in phosphorus cycle, that inorganic phosphorus is present in rocks, in soils, and it is solubilized by microbial acids. It is it is easily soluble. It is dissolved in microbial acids. So what happens when these phosphorus is soluble in microbial acid, made up made available to plant and other microbes? When phosphorus is soluble in acids, it will go into the soil, because most of the microbial populations are present on surface of the earth, especially in 3 inch of the soil surface. And whenever phosphorus is coming on soil surface, microbes, they are generating acids over there, and these acids are responsible to dissolve the phosphorus. Now phosphorus will be dissolved and will go into the soil. Microbial populations which are over there, they will absorb this phosphorus into body cells, and the plant cells, the roots are there, through root hairs and root caps, they will absorb phosphorus with other solutions. So it is available, but in elemental form, in rock form, it is not usable. It's soluble in water, and after solubilization of acids, again it is soluble in water. Okay, combines with calcium in calcium phosphate deposits of ancient disease. What happens when it is soluble due to microbial acid? When it is soluble due to water, it combines with calcium and forms calcium phosphate. Combines with calcium in calcium phosphate, and it deposits on ocean, beneath the ocean. When it is soluble form, it is available for the plants and microbes to be absorbed. And if it is not available, if whatever has been used by microbes and plants, that is okay. Remaining will go into the oceans and the rivers, and will deposit on bottoms of the oceans. So these were the most important: carbon cycle, nitrogen cycle, sulfur cycle, phosphorus cycle, some elements, some important elemental cycles we have talked in this lecture. And for details, because in slides just we can give the hints, just we can say this is the main topic, we have to concentrate on it, and details will be discussed in book, in research articles. For this, you can go through Prescott. Prescott has been provided in various forms to you. Students, you can open the elemental cycling of cycling on globe on this earth due to microorganism, and you will find various details and phenomena and things in detail. So I will request you must have to go through book. You have to talk. You have to discuss in book. You have to read book. And if you will find, if you want to any theory, you can discuss with me in detail. So, so it is my request to students again, please, to understand it in detail, you must have to go through book. You know, Prescott is the Bible of the microbiology. You can find every type of subject in detail, every topic in detail from Prescott. Again, if you are feeling some problem and some issue in Prescott during reading, you can discuss with your friends, you can discuss with your colleagues, and you can discuss with your supervisor as I am present over here uh, to help you regarding the subjects of the microbiology. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Read it, write it, discuss it with your friends, and get command on it. After that, you will find and you will feel that whatever life is growing on this surface, it is just a conversion of it is just a conversion of elements from inorganic form to organic form. And again, from when these living organisms are going to die, these are going into the soil, these are decomposed by microorganisms, and all elements are converted into their actual elemental form, and those are going into the soil water. The soil and all most of the elements are soluble in soil water, that is again absorbed by living molecules, especially primary producers, grass and plants. So thank you very much. Have a nice time.